this out.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL. We're going into game number 2 of Power Rangers up against Cloud9. Power Rangers having themselves a lightning start to the D2CL, but now hitting a bit of a bump. It's Cloud9 able to claim their first victory in game number 1. Of course, this is a 2-game series to see who will take home the maximum amount of points for this matchup. We'll get ourselves straight into it. And of course, I say we because I am joined by the man who actually coaches Cloud9, so he's a great resource to have here for the broadcast, and that is Clairvoyance, man. Welcome back for game 2.
Wait, what just happened? It's the same picks again. Same sides, everything.
It does look rather familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the way it works. You're able to pick which side you want and then which pick you want. So you can actually end up having the same sides both times, same picks both times, depending on what each team wants.
Can we say deja vu, Toby?
Until that.
Not anymore.
Until that. With
that happened.
With the Tinker pickup, things change around, and now Cloud9 might be a little bit more cautious about either the split push power or at least the ability to catch out the Tinker.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem. We may or may not be allergic to Tinkerino ever since last night.
I'm trying.
Come on.
Oh.
Please. Toby, please. Toby, so fake. That was horrible.
Yeah, man.
How are we going to call ourselves partners if this kind of synergy doesn't come to pass, you know? What a shame, what a shame.
Maybe we just need to take you to a humor class.
Oh, interesting. Wow, that's you know what? I take offense to that. I will no longer delve into those kind of territories anymore. So moving on, Toby, thanks to you. You know, we're gonna have this Tinker on the side of Power Rangers, and as you said, we have to be careful about the push now on the side of Cloud9, because if this Tinker does get levels, he's gonna be able to remedy that relatively easily with just a couple clicks with the boots of travel as well as the march spam. And Beastmaster, I guess that's one in response to the fact that they took Tinker and they're kind of afraid of the Radiant Beastmaster Tinker combo. But the other thing is, it was so successful last game against the Void because we just mana burned him and he couldn't cast Chronos, or heroes like Skywrath Mage. You know, even if you try to focus the Beastmaster, Skywrath will die for sure to a Necrobook Beastmaster aggression. So yeah, it's a nice pickup nevertheless. Once again, though, the real question is, will this Enigma get free farm like he did last game? And what kind of solutions do they have for the Razor? Because I think they learned, man, it's not the Void.
If they're gonna come over and actually try and contest up against the Enigma and try and like ward up the camps, they're gonna need better heroes than a Void and a Tinker in order to do that up against Cloud9. Like, you're battling up against both Axes as well as Plasma Field, and potentially you're battling up against Malefice or Midnight Pulse. Obviously, that's not what Enigma wants as the first level, but that could be what you're up against. And you're still missing one more support from Cloud9, and you're missing a secondary core. And, well, there's our last call for Eternal Envy. This is assuming this is a Bone 7 Beastmaster. But I'm looking at... well, that's one way to chase down the Tinker. He just goes directly to him no matter where he is on the map.
That's right. It's a specifically gated Tinker counter.
So, it's a beautiful way. It's a beautiful way of approaching the game. At the same time, Power Rangers, I'm down with the Chikira pickup with the Skywrath Mage. I'm a little concerned, though, with their ability to force the issue.
5 seconds.
I'm almost hoping right now that Chikira and Skywrath Mage end up with, like, a safe lane Pugner.
Reserve time.
So they can push down towers heavily, leave the Tinker in the mid, and let the Void go off lane. Because it's still an Enigma inside the jungle. So Void should have an okay time escaping away from whoever's harassing him out of lane. And like, Skywrath's already been removed. So you're okay on that front. VS was taken out. You've got Shadow Shaman's also been removed. So yeah, he should be okay on the off lane by himself. I just want to see Power Rangers be able to be the action makers, be the ones that set the tone here. Because if they're not, I'm seeing the same thing happening again. Spectre farms up, Razor farms up, Beastmaster farms up, Enigma's uncontested farm. I don't even care who the 5th hero is right now of Cloud9. They'll just walk over Power Rangers when they're ready.
Radiant team pick.
But I think you can't undermine your own suggestion there. I think if Power Ranger picks up Pugna, I would say Cloud9 is in some serious dire trouble. And the main reason being is, you mentioned a lot of these wonderful spells, the Plasma Field and the Axis, the Wild Axis coming out from the Beastmaster, as well as the potential Midnight Pulse. While it's all really decent for stopping the pushes, it only alleviates the situation and kind of delays what is to come. And it forces the enemy to just have an impending push as opposed to an immediate push that's anchored right away. So with heroes like Jakiro, Tinker, and Pugna, not only will they have themselves like an almost unbeatable anchor, but they will also force that tower chip damage that's unpreventable with a core like Spectre. And even if Spectre decides to choose a fight, and as they say that, all of this plan is just tossed into the air because they're going for a different combination this time. It could be a support Naga, as we've seen it come out more frequently in recent times. But what I do believe it is most likely going to be a core Naga. It's good against Spectre because you sleep anytime the Haunt comes out, and the Haunt just becomes useless. So this Naga pickup is not something that's doubtful.
Yeah, it's...
10 seconds.
Are you saying this is going to be a core Naga?
It could be. I mean, I don't think it should be, because with Void and Tinker, I mean, the space already, you're choking yourselves out on your own side of the map. But it could be. I mean, I prefer the core Jakiro in this case, because you get the Jakiro with the levels up. You have a support Naga that can just sit back and send illusions if she has levels, and they'll still be able to pressure the tower with the Liquid Fire, much better than a Naga. And just the playstyle it's so much more different, having a core Naga versus a core Jakiro.
Yeah.
So Cloud9 does pick up the puck, and that looks like it's going to be a Bone 7 hero, which means that we might have that support Beastmaster coming out now. And once again, I actually favor Power Rangers lineup once again, but it really has to come down to the early game and how they react even before creeps spawn. Because Toby, last game, this Enigma had uncontested free farm in the jungle, and this safe lane dual lane had so much success that
I didn't see them stopping it again, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they do.
You saw the way Cloud9 moved at the start of game 1, and they basically moved 4 heroes straight out through their own jungle. Sat on the entry point from the top lane and just flagged the fact they weren't going to come up there. And Power Rangers actually gave it up straight away. Like, all they left was one Observer Ward, which gave them vision on the lane, and that was all.
10 seconds remaining.
That's exactly where it stopped.
Yeah. But
So
this lineup, though, look at this. This is like the most greedy lineup I've ever seen. You can actually just look at this lineup from Cloud9 and say that's 5 cores.
basically.
Yeah, that is so greedy. Holy smokes. I didn't think this kind of greed was possible. But man, this team's showing me up every day.
I'm interested to see if it really does pay off. If Aoi has space in the jungle, it will pay off. Because all you gotta do is just stack up a couple of Ancients, farm up the jungle. If you're allowed to do both of these things while running your heroes on the lane, pff, goodbye. Goodbye. There is no more joy to be had for PR. They will fall behind so quickly in farm, no matter how much they try and like double stack and get this Tinker to flash farm. Because the Spectre will hit level 6, and then Enigma will have a high level as well, which means they can force down the lanes, and Tinker just TPing him won't guarantee himself a good position during the fights. It's the same for the Faceless Void. The Spectre Horn goes off, and he's like, well, I want to focus the Spectre, and now we can't do so. In fact, the only hero I think he can properly lock down is the Puck with his Chrono. Everybody else will probably survive the attacks. The Puck will probably be the most vulnerable of all. I just checked my side screen to see if the live stream was still okay. and I look over and it's frozen. And it was showing the Wraith King pickup. I'm like, wait, what? Hang on. Double check the game. Quick restart and it's nice and smooth again. Just double taped on my own system. Should let people know while we have ourselves a bit of a break. We are having more games coming up for the D2 sale this evening. As far as the matches go, we have Team Empire up against Power Rangers, so Power Rangers have a double header this evening. And we come back tomorrow night with Na'Vi versus Team Tinker and Cloud9 versus virtus.pro. They'll be the 2 series for your viewing pleasure starting tomorrow night at the same time as tonight, which is 18 CEST. Of course, if you are watching some other games, which I'm sure a lot of people are right now. In fact, I say I'm sure a lot of people are. I know currently around 50,000 people are. And they're watching the ESL 1 matches, Secret versus VP. I know Na'Vi's playing up against Fnatic shortly after that. thanks for watching here on any of the Join Dota live streams. We love your support, and thanks for giving it. Thanks for watching. And let's get into the game, because we've already got our player back in again. So Moon will be the Jakiro, heading up towards the top lane. J4 is the Naga Siren, and then we just stick as the Skywrath Mage. So we get our Wish of the Core Jackie. We'll have Shashlo will be the Tinker in towards the mid lane, and then Cheshire Cat, the safe lane but solo Faceless Void. While Cloud9, well, they're hovering around inside their own jungle at the moment. It will be a Fader solo mid Razor, looking to go for a Wraith Band and then into the bottle build. We'll have Eternal Envy farming up on the top lane. Stout Shield, probably more than likely Poor Man's Shield, considering he'll already get the Slipper of Agility there. Almy 2000 will want his own jungle, which might get a little contested right now as 3 heroes are moving up. And there's no one looking for this. They'll know when the camps are all blocked. And in fact, Eternal Envy, he's looking to throw down an Observer Ward. With his dagger, he can escape from most ganks. So he's about to walk up the hill to J4.
I don't know if he can escape this one.
There goes your dagger.
Yeah, looks like he will.
He ran the perfect angle. This is the reason why they gave him the Observer Ward over any of the other supports. But he's going to get his... Oh, wait, they play that too far away? It's too far away. The vision cuts at this point, as well as this point. They don't see that he planted it just a little bit more shallower on the cliff, which means they've just wasted their sentry ward. Unless they... Yeah, the pings are coming out saying, I know exactly where it is, but they need an Observer Ward in order to see up on top of the hill. Oh, wait, they're putting J4 on top of the hill so they can see up and get vision of the Observer Ward. If Ouija6 stops missing uphill, he'll finally bring it down.
How interesting. Now, AUI, oh man, he's off on one. This is going to really, really hurt him, because he's going to be looking for the other one as well. Or as they say that, he's actually walking mid, I'm not sure. But yeah, you caught me off guard with that, that Spectre one.
He's going to the Radiant jungle.
Yeah. I think that's the... See, I'm not sure if it's the right call this game or not. We'll have to see, because this is still an offlane Void. And this Radiant jungle Enigma, I mean, one of the camps are already blocked, so his farm will be slowed down there as well. But yeah, you caught me on that Spectre one. I completely forgot about that. I haven't seen Spectre in some time, I have to say myself.
You forgot about the Spectral Dagger?
Yeah. I mean, that was the easiest escape because there was no real hard stuns as well. And if Naga invested in that would have hurt him so much. So
Cheshire Cat. Look at Paladai searching for him anywhere he can go. He's got the Axe's mana in about 8 seconds time. And they're just pushing the tower. So this is the reason why now we left. They just forced the lane instead. And Cheshire Cat can't really do much about this. And Paladai will walk up, throws up the Hawk, and now he gets Vision. He's a little bit short of the mana for the Axis. TP support's coming in from the Naga Siren, as well as a little bit of extra help from the Skywrath Mage. The leap up, slowing down Paladai, but J4, the orb damage, a little bit off target from Bone 7, but he still gets the last hit in. It would only just snipe out the first blood of the Naga Siren. As Aoi, he's still got his huge army of conversions, dishing out a lot of damage. Bone 7, Orb as well as Rift coming off cooldown. He gets time locked on one hit. Now the Malphaston, they have lost their conversion army here. But Bone 7, he's still got this orb available. He's not going to throw it at Cheshire Cat for the moment. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of Cloud9, with First Blood also going their way.
Yeah, that was, I mean, anytime these kind of engagements happen where one team has like a double wave on their own tower and they're fighting up against islands as well, they should realize like the early damage coming out of these low-level creeps is way too much for them to fight up against. So that was quite some overextension, I would say, on the side of PR, and I know they just TP'd in, so they felt the need to get something done, but that's gonna hurt them a lot now.
Well, they're coming back up to Eternal Envy on this top lane. Riptide, but he just walks straight through him again. The Spectral Dagger being used as an easy escape mechanism.
Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know what happens here. The Tinker's gonna start stacking for himself, and I don't imagine the Enigma can just steal the stack, but I feel like they might actually have a chance of running into each other at one point. And I'm curious to see what the results are there.
Well, if I was going to flag one thing, more than likely Aoi would just leech the experience.
Yeah, probably.
If you can get a couple of last hits off that, it's going to be great. But most of the time, maybe I'd just stand up on top of this cliff area and leech.
Now, the one nice thing about this Tinker-Razor matchup is that although the Razor always saps Tinker's damage because Tinker's range is lower than 600, so he always has to walk closer, but the other thing is...
Well, top lane, Envy's in a lot of trouble. Sealed up, rip-tided. He's trying to survive, but the PMS just ain't enough for him.
I think that's expected. And once again, the nice thing about this having this core Jakiro is that he's picked up the Basilius. He's going to be able to force out this tower. This tower is actually about to go down right now with this catapult
coming in again.
as well as the Bastion.
Cheshire Cat, Maleficus. Oh, Aoi. He doesn't want it. He'll turn, try and hold the creep wave instead,
Radiant's bottom
and allow
tower
them just to
is
bring down
under
the tier
attack.
1 tower, while Envy stays in the trees where it's actually not as safe,
Dire's top tower
moves
is
up a
under
little bit
attack.
further. So they're just trying to
Wow.
get tower trade-offs. The tier 1 tower does go the way of
Radiant's bottom
Cloud9.
tower has
They haven't
fallen.
TP'd anyone up to this top lane to defend it, but Envy's just trying to keep as much distance as
Dire's
possible.
top tower is
Yeah,
under
and
attack.
I have to say he did a really good job just now. He just TP'd in and wasted a whole bunch of time on the heroes that could have been invested into killing the creep wave and getting the tower earlier. So he's sapping more EXP now
Here's
with
the
relative
TPs.
ease. But the
Spectral
TP.
daggers thrown over on J4. The concussive shot will hit on Pylite Die, but they're pushing him back from the tower. At the same time, the catapult keeps hitting in there. Liquid Fire wasn't able to connect onto the tower, and J4 is sending the illusions in, but the catapult attack is 26 life points, so Envy waits it out perfectly.
Dire's
Gets the
top
denial.
tower has been
They
denied.
don't have mana for an ensnare, so just Orb and Ice Path going the way of Pilot Eye. He'll throw the quick access out, but the dual breath's also going to be there, and that's Pilot Eye's death. But he got the denial on the tower, so you can say worth it in one way, not worth it in others.
Well, the nice thing for PR in this situation is that this Void has actually picked up level 5, despite the amount of aggression coming out. I know he did lose his tower, but he could turn this into an advantage if he just keeps the lane still here. So this might just work out for PR if they play this right here. And once again, the most important story is mid lane at Tinker, who was about to go down, but I think the second tick on the plasma field, once again, it didn't connect.
Didn't it? I saw it hit Atten in again.
It seemed like he was at like 180 HP, and then he went down to 90 or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna
It felt
double.
like it
I'll
didn't
double
connect.
check. Plasma field out and tick back in again. Yeah, it got him
Okay.
both times. It got him both
Oh, I
times.
see. Okay, so he was just in no danger of dying there then. Once again, though, he has jungle stacks, and I think he's already got his bottle rotating back and forth, which means that he's in a relatively decent position despite going up against the Razor. This is the nice thing about this Tinker hero, is that the Radiant side, you have these two jungle things if Ancients is not an option, and even then, Ancients is actually an option this game because it's already triple stacked. So I would
the
expect
only
this Tinker
problem-
to be pretty fat.
The only
Pretty
problem he's
soon.
going to have is the fact that the Beastmaster, if he wants to, he can come over and steal this once he's got Soul Ring up and running. That's not there for
I
Pilot
don't know
Eye
how
right
much
now.
reliable that is, though.
To
it's-
come over and, like, because it's still going to be, like, what, four times Axis to get the kills?
Yeah, not only that, but this is just level 1 axes, and chances are when a Tinker commits to Ancients, he commits, and he just wipes them in like 2 to 3 marches. 3 marches on usually. And yeah, it's hard to kind of like pick the perfect time for level 1 axes to steal that on Ancients who reduce the damage. So, it's an option, for sure, but not a plausible one in my opinion.
J4's pinging at the fact that Bone 7's moving towards the north. He does have Dreamcall available, as now there's a fresh Observe Board planned down by J4. Called out Owie, who's just farming over in his jungle a little bit further to the east. Bone 7 wants an opening. And the Jakira is being pinged out, but that's actually coming off from the Naga Siren, who's playing with Bone 7. I'm also not 100% sure about this like phase boot build on a puck.
He does it, I mean, it's game dependent. I can't go into too much details, but yeah, this is, I guess he feels that phase boots is good here. The movement speed, as well as just the ability to have burst right clicks. So the Stinker's getting zoned out slightly again, and Fada's doing really well in the mid lane, but if you just look at the CS, once again, the Stinker is 36 CS, just 4 under. And some of the creeps that he got are arguably more important, because he might have just gotten bigger jungle creeps. So yeah, this matchup overall, it's pretty even, depending on the
Void.
morning. And wow, Chrono.
Perfect Chrono over on Bone 7. The damage output's not really high enough to kill him off straight away, which is why phase shift. There's a good steal coming up from Just6, stopping Bone 7 from being able to just easily escape. But he's away still on 45 life points, as the attention was turned from Power Rangers over to Fade, and now the Spectre Haunt's gonna come. And well, there goes Matt Damon. Does he reality in? No, he won't. Still a large amount of damage being pumped out. And he's able just to kill off the Skywrath Mage with an illusion of himself.
Actually, this is something I always have to give credit to on Envy. On Spectre, there's the ability to reality into an illusion and then reality out to a different illusion now. And I think he uses it more than any other Spectre player in the game right now. He actually reality in there for just a split moment, used the Spectral Dagger on one of the targets to get the kill, and then he reality back top to the Jakiro. It's really hard to notice because he does it really fast, but that's what he did, and he secured the kill with that.
There's also no clear indicator on the illusions, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very hard to tell. All you can really do is just look for the colors to change.
It's like trying to work out when a wisp has gone invis.
Yeah, yeah, that's always very difficult. Sometimes they're right on top of you. You're like, how come I can't hit them?
Envy, right behind the Jakiro. He's just throwing out the Spectral Dagger, slowing him up. Owie's still not finding his way over yet. He's also a little bit behind in the levels now, only sitting at level 7, 9 minutes into this game. But he's trying to keep up with as much farm as possible. And it won't be long until the mech is completed. And Fader will not be able to find Moon. Moon's already TPing himself away to safety. While J4 is the man who's in charge of the defense of the tier 1 tower in mid.
Too bad.
Surprised to say, this Enigma is still top of the board once again. Farming very, very well. And I guess this game it's okay for PR because they have the Tinker, who's kind of doing the same thing. And the Void as well, but I'm just surprised that the PR aren't forcing the issue a little bit more. Like what I would have imagined is maybe the Jakiro rushes the mech on this team. And then as soon as the tower at top goes down, they should go at mid. But speaking of mid, we just Zik about to go down.
Yeah, Bone7's on the chase of him right now. He needs just one more attack. Face booster on cooldown. He's trying to juke him around the sidelines, but Bone7's one attack will get the kill. So, 2 easy quick kills, and Cheshire Cat, the Chrono, Fader, as well as Bone7. There's 6 charges still available for Fader with the plasma field damage. Cheshire Cat hoping for, actually doesn't even have a level and backtrack. The Spectral Haunt's going to come over, and Envy, he's looking for a kill over on Sharslow. There goes your Spectral Dagger to get the kill. And that really makes it worth it. The fact they just killed off the Tinker for the price of a Razor, and they got a +1. And Moon's also battling up against Aoi 2000. He doesn't have the mech available, so the conversions are burning up right now in the Liquid Fire and the Ice Path. While back in middle lane, Pylai died, getting sealed up. Bone7 not looking as healthy either. Didn't have phase shift, was still on cooldown while that orb was flying towards him. And Pylai just wants to run out of here as quickly as he possibly can, but the Dual Breath runs over to the Ancients and does get himself denied to the neutral creep. Props.
And you know what the nice thing about all of this is that not only are they forcing the movement of the enemy cores, but MB picked up another huge kill, which allows him to catch up on most of the farm that he was missing out. He's already got treads and 800 gold and still farming away. And most importantly, they're actually making space for this Enigma, who's a little bit behind, but slowly catching up as well. Looking at about an 11-minute mech, not shabby at all, and that means Roshan becomes an immediate objective anytime for a tower.
Well, let the battle continue, man. Aoi, I want to see more farm on this Enigma. I'm feeling really unsettled about this right now. His progression hasn't been anywhere near as fast as I thought it would be.
Well, yeah, when an Enigma is forced to move around even just a little bit, it does hinder him quite a bit, but this Tinker is now getting the ancient stacks that he's looking for.
He might go down for this though, because they're going to come in with a Dream Call, an Orb, a Rift, a Plasma Field. They snap him back. Now, the Ancients did go down. And Cena didn't get any lasted apart from this one Black Dragon.
Yeah, that was like I thought the Void was actually ready to TP in, and that would have been a really massive chrono because that double march, it's always really difficult to catch a Tinker in that position, just because of the angle that they have to walk from, as well as the premeditated marches. So it seemed like a scary gank, but I guess the timing was just perfect.
Leap Chrono with the Mystic Flare in range. They just evaporate Bone7. Hilarious thing is too, back when Fader was playing in mouse boards, I remember his puck that was actually played up in one of the initial qualifiers. I actually think it was for... Was it for EMS1? It could have actually... No, it wasn't around that time. I remember it was a major qualifier for an event. And he ended up playing this puck, which was the highest net worth in the field. And he kept getting chronoed. Like every single time Void came off cooldown with Chrono, he was right on top of the puck, nailing Fader and just beat the crap out of him. And this Void single-handedly carried the team to victory. Because the puck just could do absolutely nothing. You may as well have been playing 4v5. And I got this funny feeling that Fader's giving a little bit of sympathy right now to Bone7, as he's dealing with something very similar right now.
Yeah, puck is not an easy hero to lock down, so what do you have to do? Drop a Chronosphere that's inescapable.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's one way to win. Kira's going to push in towards the mid tower. Malivaston. Spectre going to throw up the ulti as well. And well, where's the real Eternal Envy? He is actually still here in middle lane being controlled up by this. As the orb will fly out. Dream Call from Bone7. That looked good. That looked really good.
Yeah, that looked good too.
Now Bone7's in a little bit of trouble. He phase shifts out the damage to the rockets, which allow him to back up. But man, that looked good. That Dream Call looked really
like
good.
For sure, right on the turn. Interesting. Well, regardless, I think with the ultimate being expended, they still get something out of it, which is, I guess, Intimidation, but also the Roshan. They're going to be able to secure this. They have relatively low damage without the medallion, but they'll slowly take this down, and without much contest coming out of PR. Their Tinker doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, and he's going to try to look for Ancients, but there's nothing to stack and nothing that has yet spawned. So probably looking for the next minute rune, which is at the 14-minute mark, and there it is, the Invis rune.
Well, that's a nice one to have. See if they can find an opening. Right now, Cloud9 have their Aegis the Immortal. So, Insurance is now available for Eternal Envy, with 2.2k gold on him. Is he a Diffuser man or a Radiance man in this case?
I would hope a Radiance, certainly. I mean, with the Hunt just getting shut down by the Naga ultimate, you still want it to do damage if they're in proximity, and there's nothing better than a Radiance this game. If he gets big this game, what happens is even the Tinker won't be able to burst him down, and anytime they commit both the Tinker and the Void to try and bursting him down, the rest of the team will be able to do stuff, because once again, Toby, they're running like a 5-core lineup, so every hero will scale to an extent, specifically with items.
They're going to afford him pretty shortly. They got a 3,000 net worth advantage at the moment and just over 2,000 on the experience. And this is considering, well, the towers are even Stevens. Everyone's taken 2 tier 1s. But they need more kills, like it's 8-7 at the moment. No team really has a huge advantage apart from Cloud9 with a couple of K. But that comes down to what they got from the lanes. But as we also always know, I miss kills. Top lane, the corner from Cheshire Cat. Seems to got the kill with the Mystic Flares.
Earlier.
So it was nice and quick. Yeah, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. We just sick though. There's a leap in. Spectre gonna actually haunt himself into this one. He kills off the Naga on the bottom lane to start with. And now Pylai Die will die on the top river. There was no choice. He's getting chased by too many heroes just then. So it ends up just being a 2-for-1 trade-off in favor of Power Rangers.
Yeah, and they very well needed these kills. Once again, some of the more important cores like the Spectre's not dying and he's got the Aegis, so that won't be a concern for him. The other thing is Razor, who's farming relatively slow. Anytime this hero has like more than one death, it really hurts his farm. And in this case, it's showing. But the Enigma's still alive as well, which means that AUI can choose to get the Blink Dagger or BKB. And this game, I'm honestly not certain which is the better choice. I feel like on one hand, Blink Dagger is a necessity. But on the other, I mean, BKB just seems useless, that's what it feels like. But Blink Dagger doesn't seem like it'll do that much as well. And as they say that, Tinker plus Void, combo on the Razor.
Man, I've really got to wake myself up. That's a couple of kills I've missed, but now Void, he might be in a little bit more trouble. They need to get that Maleficent off from Aoi. The Dream Court will buy him the extra space to do so. He'll leap, but that also takes the extra stun. The Axe, he's backtracking out the damage, and now Tinker's coming back into the engagement. The Rockets are on Pilot as well as Aoi, but the Martial Machine's giving him the cover fire, the Meg Charge, trying to keep the extra life points up for Cloud9 to keep diving, but Cheshire Cat just runs himself away to safety with that Mask of Madness turned on. And even now, Aoi 2000. The Blink Dagger, well, it comes off cooldown. But really, at this point, Shashlo is not in range of anybody from Cloud9 to kill off.
Now, it's been some time, but I hope we get to see some more action coming from this Jakiro again. And speaking of which, you know, Moon was in like some precarious positions earlier in this game, in different sets of times. Like one at mid, which he got bailed out by the Naga Siren, but at top as well, when he was just playing so aggressively. And I'm surprised to see he hasn't died once this game, even after just rushing Phase Boots as his first item and not getting the mech for a very long time. Doing pretty good, I would say.
He just seemed to be a lot more defensive since those, as you said, unusual positions. You don't really walk into a dire side tree line and think, this is a great position to be in to farm up as a Jakiro.
Probably not. But at the same time, though, they're not getting too many towers out of it, and this is hurting them because as much as Tinker, we've seen him wreck the late game and the mid game. This is once again going up against a far more favorably scaling lineup on the side of Cloud9. So I really feel that PR, they should assemble as 5 sometime.
They're coming again.
That was a good time.
Chrono not required. They just seal on Pylai Die. If it was a big hero like a Spectre, they would have used the Chrono, but it really wasn't required.
Yeah. This is honestly a really, really good time for them to actually do something here. And as I say that, bottom is getting aggressive.
0.7. Emai Dream Call onto 2 heroes, and he gets it this time around. Envy. Actually, Reality's in. He's trying to kill up J4, but they both TP'd themselves out to safety. There was no follow-up stuns. The Enigma was too far away to reach him.
Yeah, you know what? I have to actually give massive props to J4 there. It takes a lot of good beforehand thinking as well as preparation to have that situation. What happened was he actually initiated the casting of Song of the Siren, and then he cancelled it and TP'd right away along with Moon, saying that, you know what, they actually have no follow-up stuns. Even if they have damage, I don't think they can kill us. And he only got away with 100 HP, so you could say it's lucky, But that was just really well done. This sleep is really crucial for this game, for them to have pushes and situational positions.
Because you just get
Really
that
well
sleep
done.
off, and you work your way into the easiest chrono of your life. Right
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Cheshire Cat's
Just so many things.
being stunned up. The ball's also going to slow him down, so going for easy chases is not going to be as simple.
A lot of baiting back and forth, and I guess I do understand the concerns because Tinker's presence or other support hero presence wasn't there, but once again, I feel like PR, if they sit on this one, it's not so much sitting on it as much as they're sleeping on this. I think they need to do something. I think they really want to push a tower here, and this bottom tier 1 is kind of a far objective because the lane's still pushed out, but maybe top, following a Spectre kill or something. This Aegis is
that'll
probably
work.
going to expire it.
Two-man chrono from Cheshire Cat. Paladai and Owie caught out. The Mystic Flare is going to be used. Owie, he got the mech. Well, actually, the mech was on cooldown. He got the stick charges off. That wasn't enough to save him. Now, Raw will be available, but there's no support anywhere near him. Cloud9 don't actually have, like, this BTing hero that just says, hey, I can actually help you get these kills. It's just jump in, pick off a PR, and they don't seem to be really copying anything. Like, there's no punishment for their crime. They just keep battling on this bottom lane.
Yeah.
The Jaeger Simul is about to be reclaimed. So this will be taken off Eternal Envy. So there goes that safety net that Cloud9 had. But at the same time, Envy's getting very close to picking up that Radiant. So they may not care. That's why Cheshire Cat's on the hunt. He's looking for an easier target than the Spectre. That's not a simple target for him. Especially with no Chrono.
So, without the Skywrath or the Chronosphere or the Tinker in proximity, it's not going to happen. And speaking of Tinker, you know, he's been getting a relatively easygoing time for him for the last couple of minutes. So he's farmed up 3k gold plus, and still hasn't purchased up a Dagon. So I would imagine it's something else, but I feel that Dagon is a pretty good choice this game, unless they plan to go really late game. And we're talking like 5-6 slotted Tinker late game.
Maybe he's considering a different type of push. No, you wouldn't use a Shiva's Guard item just to try and do your push.
Oh, Mystic Staff or... Oh
it's
my
Bloodstone.
God.
It's Bloodstone Tinker.
This might actually be genius. Strategically speaking, I actually don't see a better item than this. Because what's going to happen is they wanted to do this anchor push for the longest time. They haven't let it come to pass yet. But when they do anchor up with the Jakiro mech and the Force Staff, as well as the Tinker with a Bloodstone, they have all the initiation and positioning guarantee in the world with the Song of the Siren to fall back on, as well as Chronosphere. This is actually a brilliant decision if they want to just drop multiple marches for cover fire. But they haven't played like that at all until this point in the game, so I'm not convinced by it yet. And as I say that, Cloud9 is actually coming in for a massive flank.
They have to move quickly though if they're going to make this work. Owie and Paladai just can't hold back, because if this smoke breaks, that Observer Ward's going to reveal them. But at the same time, that's what they're waiting for. Spectre Radiance is now done, so Envy's just going to like horn himself in. Plans to feel there's no extra damage. Bone Server's in a good position for a jump in from the side. But now they can see him. The Observer Ward did scout this out, but Big March the Machine wave. And Spectre...
Oh, the roar's been blown.
What did he do it on? What did he blow it on? Oh, that's not great. Now he's going to drop straight away. And Pylai died. There goes to Chrono. He'll die directly after. The Spectre has now haunted himself in here, but Bone 70 so low on life. The Spectre Illusion's almost sticking out Moon. The Urn Charge is trying to do his job here, but they've split themselves up. Vader kills off Ouija Stick in the tree line. Somehow Cloud9 are actually coming off with an even trade from this. Which doesn't really seem possible, considering how horrendous that engagement was.
You know what it was? I think PR actually just realized it with that fight too, is that they honestly cannot use the sleep before the haunt is casted. That haunt, that sleep, Song of the Siren has to be exclusively saved for that haunt, because otherwise, anytime that kind of engagement blows out, all the targets on PR are so isolated because you have this Void that jumps in, Skywrath that keeps distance, and Jakiro that keeps like a mid-range. And all these heroes, and Tinker of course, he's going to be isolated for sure with the Blink Dagger. They're all going to take massive damage from the Haunt, just coming from the Desolate, not even the Radiance. So they have to mitigate that damage with the Song of the Siren, because this spell can no longer be used as a setup.
It's that safety net they require. Cloud9's going to get really happy when they check Roshan in a moment. As far as spawn timing goes, it's not actually as long as it could be for Roshan. He'll spawn up in about 30 seconds time from now. What do we got coming out in the courier? It's an energy booster for J4. So they're just finding a little bit of extra mana into their lineup. And it's going to come from the Naga Siren. While the face is Void, he's walking around with 3,000 gold. I assume this is going to be a BKB for him. Considering everything that's there for Cloud9, it kind of, like, has to be.
I think so as well. One of the difficulties in the last fight was actually when he went on the Razor. The Razor's physical damage just shred him. But
he's going in Ags. He's going in Ag and himself to Void.
That's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine as well. I would say if he goes for the Ags, he can, like, BKB becomes optional depending on the items on the Beastmaster, which is not going to come anytime soon. So I guess it's fine. And then I guess the most sense would be coming out of a crit or a Maelstrom. Finished. So Mjolnir. And Envy's getting hunted, but good awareness on his part, dodging the smoke gank. Due to the, I guess, the Hawk that spotted it out. Tinker's getting pinged out as well now. Finish the Bloodstone.
It's also the fact that every single person is missing on the lane currently, apart from a Tinker. But he's also everywhere and anywhere. Now, Aoi's going to be watching over Roshan. The ball's copying a lot of damage at the moment, as Aoi just keeps making, well, he's going to make a new set of conversions in a moment. And keeps the cycle of conversions going.
I'm not sure if I like what Cloud9 is doing here. And I guess it's working out okay. But they're investing in just a small number of resources, and I feel like right now they have to focus on one idea or the other.
Well,
and
they're going to. The Chrono's already on Eternal Envy. He's going to be a big kill right now. They're going to need him to buy back if they're going to try and take this fight. The Dream Coil, absolutely perfect from Bone 7, and there's your buyback into the Haunt. And they're going to mop up almost every single player of Power Rangers. Bone 7 will find him, and the Yule Scepter. It was the only thing that would cancel the TP, and he'll kill him with the Orb. Power Rangers lose 5 heroes. And Envy plays a Sacrificial Lamb. And a big baited Sacrificial Lamb as well. He wanted to die then.
Yeah, that's how he loves playing Spectre. He likes to always buy back with the Haunt. It worked out perfectly there for sure, but that's partially because Power Ranger kind of got baited in the heat of the moment. Like this Naga Siren, once again, if he had the Spectre, if he had the Song of the Siren ready, what that would have been is a Spectre kill, and basically a free Spectre kill with a forced buyback, because he would have just walked out with the Haunt, or pardon me, Song of the Siren. But he just got initiated on by Bone 7 in a perfect situation for Bone. He landed like a massive foil and Waning Rift on like 3 to 4 heroes. It was just total disaster for PR, and at the same time, just a beautiful initiation coming out of Cloud9.
Well, Bone 7, again, he finds a catch out. It's going to be over on the Tinker.
Oh,
he's got one rearm left up his sleeve, but at the same time, Rift is off cooldown, and he'll deny himself up with the Bloodstone. But he's now down to 4 charges on that Bloodstone for the Tinker.
Yeah, the deny itself is not, I mean, it's good in the situation, but right now he can't afford to die because he's already behind from that last fight, the way they got caught out there. And this is only going to make things worse. So even though they still have their tier 1 tower at top and are relatively healthy in towers overall, that's because both teams are kind of fallen into that situation. But in terms of objectives, Cloud9 still has a huge advantage because they've gotten multiple Roshans.
Because of that, how much their advantage? How much of an advantage is it? It's going to be over 4,000 in net worth, and just cracking about 7.5k in the experience. So yeah, C9 looking pretty damn good. Core items as well, which have already arrived. You got well, at least one BKB over on the Razor, who's also level 16, and he's actually having a bit of a battle right now with Shashlo, who got himself caught inside the tree line. TP's himself away to safety. Only way to get out himself out of that little mess. But the
this Tinker, honestly, he can't afford to die again. Like, what he gives to the push is just so critical. It's entirely based on whether Cloud9... It's entirely based on him, whether Cloud9 can actually engage or not. Because depending on the number of marches, Cloud9 actually can't fight. So, for him to die right now, it's way too critical of a death.
Is it really that hard for Cloud9 to fight? I know Spectre doesn't have a lot of life points as it is.
Well, it's assuming things go right though. Like, if the Haunt does get cancelled by the Song of the Siren, then yeah. But, I mean, if the Haunt gets through, then Spectre can basically 1v4 right now.
The way Jakiro gets to save himself by Yule Scepter. Not a bad setup. But I got a funny feeling he'll be using that item primarily in defense. While on bottom lane, they're having a crack. Cheshire Cat will TP out under the cover of the Song of the Siren of J4. So there's Song of the Siren down. And the rest of C9 can start pushing.
There? Yeah, I don't get what the real threat there was. There was a coil. Oh, I guess yeah, the coil should be big enough. Yeah, there's plenty of follow-up, so I understand. But that is on level 2 sleep now, so the cooldown is a lot less. But at the same time, it's not good enough to save this tower push.
That's gonna be short by a minute and a half. Well, right now, Faceless Void. He's sitting in the trees waiting for Rico, but He got caught out. The axe will clear him off too. Envy with that reality in. He's trying to bring down Cheshire Cat. 17 life points, but he'll burn up. While the Aegis Immortal is triggered for the Spectre, the Ice Path will be there. More orb attack damage as the Macro Pyre starting to burn through the Spectre as he runs into the tree line. His Spectral Dagger is about to wear off. Yeah, I think he is, man. Midnight Pulse is still on cooldown for the moment. He'll just TP north.
Yep.
He had the choice. His Spectral Dagger, I think, just wore off the second he went through the tree line.
I think it might be due to his death as well, but now Tinker is at top and they might end up spotting each other very soon, but not too much of an engagement probably.
Yeah, just give each other a little bit of space to keep farming up. Envy's up to 3.4k gold right now. So he's got a lot.
I actually didn't mention as well, but they did end up saving the tower, which is pretty nice.
Something tells me it won't stay there for long, however. Same with the top tower.
Possibly. I mean, in terms of like major item progressions, to be honest, Cloud9 hasn't had a breakthrough on that yet. There's a Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster now, but I'm gonna throw that thought Puck is getting engaged on. He might be in trouble. Oh! Whoa. That looked pretty cool.
Was that just a Yul's blink away? It wasn't even a blink.
He Waning Rifted as well, and then it almost looked like he Waning Rift after he went to the orb, but just the animation just seemed it was magical for a second. Let me have my moment, dude.
Moment's yours, Mood. Man, I missed it. I missed it completely.
Thanks, man.
Well, I'm also looking at a haste rune onto Jakiro. He's looking for his moment up against that Beastmaster in mid. And they should be able to get him. He has a Blink Dagger available. The second the Jakiro shows himself, however, Pilot Eye is just going to bail out of here. But then again, Pilot Eye gets really lucky with the Fog of War.
Yeah, that's some luck right there, I have to say. No, that's actually Star Sense. He saw that coming.
They don't have an Observer Ward for it. You mean Star? Oh, what?
He has the Observer of his heart. Come on, Toby.
Read the Zodiac sign. Hour 2000's getting nuked down in middle lane. Obviously, Fortune Teller didn't see that one. There's now Pilot Eye. The Roar goes over on the Face's Void. He's still backtracking a hell of a lot of this. And the Spectral Dagger isn't really that fearful. But with the Yasha now freshly over onto the Spectre, she has got to be feared a little bit more than before. But it doesn't stop PR from ticking the tower down.
Yeah, and you know what? You see the Tinker, he's actually picked
Fader. He's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Trying to come in from behind. They want to try and pincer PR as they force down the tower, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, PR actually just got two really huge kills. And that's gonna allow J4 to be a lot more lenient with his positioning. Like there's tolerance and room for mistakes now on his positioning because it's not easy to burst him down anymore without the plasma field as well as the Enigma's guaranteed initiation with the black hole. The tower's gonna go down. And all of a sudden, PR look like, honestly, they might still be slightly behind, but they're looking in a really good position. This Tinker, if he's gonna get level 2 Dagon or E-Blade or Sheep, I'm not sure. But they're picking up on their farm again. And Cloud9's not responding with the utmost urgency.
Well, seems like Cloud9 are really happy just to go into the late game here. While, no, PR, they're not gonna muck around. A 4-man smoke movement, they're going back into their own jungle in this case. While Pilot Eye sends the Hawk out.
Oh, they spotted him.
Yep. And there's Cheshire Cat. The smoke didn't break, but you're talking about the Spectre, Eternal Envy, Macro Pyre, Dagon, as well as the Ice Path to hold him there. But it's the Skywrath Mage who comes in with just one concussive shot and takes the last hit over on Eternal Envy. So now 65 seconds on the sideline, and Void looking to push the advantage even further. Caught out Pilot Die. They've lost the Roar and they've lost the Haunt here, not Cloud9. And as far as buybacks go, Spectre's the only one with one. They need to get some collaterals, and they're going to find one now, Cloud9. They find the Tinker up on the top. The March Machine's doing some heavy damage into Bone 7, not to mention the Laser Rocket combination. He can't blink away for another 3 seconds or so. Needs some space. The Ghost Scepter not providing it with the Eye of the Storm from Fader, not to mention the very high points of damage stolen.
Why didn't he TP there?
Pretty sure it was off cooldown. And now Moon. Well, they'll have a crack at revenge here on Fader. Got more help coming in there from Cheshire Cat. So Tinker at this point, the only one dead for Power Rangers, and it looks like C9 are now going to be down 4 heroes. As they lose the Razor up on the top lane, they've lost the Spectre on the bottom lane before the Puck in the side shop. And that Beastmaster has only just respawned.
Yeah, Cloud9 just lost like 5 kills in the span of 2.5 minutes, which is really big because, I mean, they got the Tinker, but... And actually, speaking of which, the Tinker kill, I think I realize it now. I think he thought that the TP breaks Ghost Scepter, which it would if it was a TP scroll, but not Boots of Travel.
So you can BT and use Ghost Scepter at the same time?
Yes.
Or at least BT's first, then Ghost Scepter?
Yeah. No. Ghost Scepter and then you can BT.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the nice thing about Tinker with the E-Blade too is that you can do that. But I mean overall, that I'm quite baffled by that one. That was a pretty big kill because if he didn't die, that was another guaranteed push, possibly up to high ground.
That's a lot more confidence for PR to go towards the high ground. It seems like such a long way away for either team to reach this. C9 need to get map control back again, and Power Rangers just need to find the opening and like items to say, okay, we're happy to go high ground now because we don't think we're going to throw away the entire game. They managed to work back about 10,000 worth of experience points, and as far as gold goes, they've stretched their lead by 12,000 in just the last like 5 minutes or so. And now Cheshire Cat, well, maybe you can team up with the Tinker, but Spectre's already bailing off the bottom lane, so he's back up to the top lane for now.
Yeah, and once again, Tinker's just getting bigger and bigger. You have this Void that he did pick up the small crit, so it looks like he has a very good idea of what he really wants this game and what he really needs, which is great. Beta, on the other hand, he's got his Aghanims, and it seems like his progression has kind of halted from then. I mean, it hasn't been too long since he's picked up the Aghanims, but he's got 1.6k gold, and while it's not bad, it's not too big of a deal at this point in the game for a Razor, 35 minutes in. And Eternal Envy too, like he made some really impressive comebacks from the laning phase, and then his progression has somewhat stagnated as well. He's picked up a Yasha and he's got 3k, which is notable as well, but doesn't seem like there's much to move on forward from here, because if you look at his inventory now with, like, let's just say he finishes a Manta style or something, he'll have a Yasha and a Manta and a Radiance. I mean, he'll have a Manta, a Radiance, and Treads, and that doesn't really look too good for 35 minutes either. So I think he's actually going to get a Reaver or a Heart, possibly save him for buyback in the meantime. But overall, Cloud9's item progression have been dwindling for the last little bit. It's certainly simmered down.
What do you think about racing, like, just quickly getting a Diffuser Blade over on the Spectre?
I think he needs to survive right now. I think he dies too much. He's too squishy, and I think the point of this lineup right now is that so long as the Haunt can get through, they needed to not only tank a little bit of March, but they need the Spectre himself tanky because he needs to soak up damage. There's not very many tanks on C9 right now, and that's partly because PR have such good ways of putting out damage, whether it's just guaranteed through Chrono or nice positioning with Ice Blast and stuns. Like, they've got everything to put out damage, so survival is crucial here.
Right now, it looks like C9 are going to survive by not being involved in any of this. Envy's pushing towards the tier 1 tower on the top lane, but this tier 2 tower has been slowly whittled away by the liquid fire. Or instead he can throw an orb out, but that's basically all he can really do to drag the creep wave off the tower. And even then, it looks like it's a fraction of a second early. So the Plasma Field has to come in from Fader in order to make sure that tower is safe. And PR's bringing everybody. They're going to go high ground here then. Because it's either Roshan who is available, or they go high ground.
I don't think they want to commit. I think it's a wise idea that they don't commit. Honestly, looking at C9's lineup from earlier on, it looked like they had the better late game. But as the game is progressing right now, they just don't have enough items to fight in the game. So I think if PR realizes, they can actually just say, okay, we'll sit back with our Naga. That's going to be our guarantor for the Haunt, our solution. It's going to prevent any damage coming through, and they're just going to respond adequately with big ultimates in the Chronosphere and well-placed ice pads and other disables and nukes. So I think PR are doing this correctly by playing it safe at the moment.
Well, it can't last forever, man, but at the same time, maybe Tinker will be happy for it. 20,000 on the net worth now, so playing safe, as you're saying, is what Team Tinker is, Team PR is doing. And, well, Power Rangers, well, they're off again. Tinker just keeps going with this split push. Even Jakiro, this guy affords a Shiva's Guard with Yule Scepter and 4-staff. And it was actually a Diffuser Blade coming up from Eternal Envy with a Blink Dagger now, also arriving for Aoi. You know the reason why I'm happy with this is the fact that PR are holding back for now, and C9 with just those two items show the fact that they want to fight. They don't just want to sit back and wait for PR to come to them. They want to actually try and get out there and do something.
Yeah, I guess at this point they realize how far behind they really are as well. So, I mean, I can't doubt the decision, but I don't think it's gonna have a follow-up, that's for sure. I think this is like the ultimate sign, as you said, with the all-in and the Gecko, and they say if they lose that next fight, they don't really have much else to move on forward.
Nice ice path up on top of the hill. Limpy still got the Hawk scouting out for anything he really wants to see. But Power Rangers, they got 4 heroes in the bottom river. There's still the Enigma who's pushing out the bottom lane. He's done a pretty damn decent job of that too. The 4 heroes moving over towards the ancient area, while just one rogue is the Tinker, looking to try and keep that pressure up on the mid and buy space for the rest of his PR lineup to come in there and take out Roshan.
Yeah, I don't agree with this PR move though. If they try to force out Rush like Roche, they're putting themselves in a bad situation.
They want to kill.
Actually getting Chrono.
They want to bait Cloud9 by walking in and out of the pit. And Cloud9 stay pretty damn close to it. And eventually they caught one person in a position with that good observer ward. So the Razor goes down. The Enigma could still have a jump here, but he knows what he's up against. The Ice Bar's holding him off. Envy throwing out the Spectral Dagger. Can't really see properly inside the pit at the moment. It's a real danger zone if he goes in there too. Cheshire Cat's already got Roshan down to 2/3 of his life points, but now they're going to back up. They don't want to run the risk of Cloud9 just being able to steal the Aegis the Immortal.
No, certainly don't. Well, the nice thing is, because they're taking this so slow, they're actually going to have the Chronosphere up again very, very soon. And in that sense, they're doing this correct, but I feel like overall though, putting themselves in this cluster position is only allowing more opportunities for Cloud9 to make a comeback. But once again, he has the Chrono up, which is going to change that, hopefully.
Well, let's have a watch, man. Envy's coming in. There goes Pylai. Die goes for the Raw directly into Cheshire Cat. They want this Void gone, and they've got him too. The Naga Sleep will come, but the damage was already done. Faceless Void will buy back into the game, while it looks like Shashlo as well as Fader battling up against each other. Spectre gonna haunt in. Where is your reality for the moment? It was actually there to help bring down the Tinker. While Naga Siren ends up ticking out. The Chrono will be popped. Oh, wow. He got... Wait, what the hell? he didn't go in. And now the Black Hole from Aoi 2000 dragging Cheshire Cat back in again. We got ourselves a dieback right now. Eternal Envy picks up a triple kill. The Diffusal Blade charge already going to work. Will get E-bladed up very, very quickly. As they're just throwing as much dual breath and orb attacks and seal damage over on top of Aoi. He will drop at the end of the day. While Envy up and over the cliff line. The Liquid Fire is sticking him down, but he will survive to fight and stay alive. While the Tinker doesn't want to let him do that. Blinks up, the Rockets, Envy earns quickly, but it's not enough. Not quick enough, at least. So now he's on the sidelines for 80 seconds. And the rest of PR will be sent into the pit to mop up the damage.
Yeah. It was a rough fight for PR because, once again, the sequence of spells wasn't ideal. Some were missed. For example, the Jakiro didn't cast the second round of Shivas there, and I think the Void just getting that situation was really rough. He wasted like 2-3 seconds into Chrono, which he could have just attacked a different target and set up a better kill. But overall now, Envy's coming in for the Roche steal. Let's see if he can get it here.
It's going to be on the edge, man. He's using the Spectral Dagger to move up and down. But now Yule set her up in the air. They've got to use this time to get the damage into Roshan, but it's not really enough from just the 2 support heroes. Now Envy comes on down, and Aegis the Immortal will be taken by the Jakiro. The Jakiro will die straight away, but Envy just wants to bail out, but he will not be lucky enough to do so. And that's the Tinker just hitting him really hard coming up on the high ground. 95 seconds on the sidelines for that Spectre.
Yeah, that Spectre doesn't have buyback for over a minute now. The bottom lane is pushing in. There's a full HP Jakiro, and there's a Void that's about to spawn who's gonna take some time to get there, but with Time Walk and his Mask of Mana speed, it won't be taking too long. On top of that, you have this Tinker who's always gonna be at full force because he's steeping into the lane. This is gonna be the push they're looking for. They know Black Hole is down as well.
So why not go high ground? You got basically every single ultimate of your own apart from Macro Fire, but it's such a low cooldown anyway, you don't really care. But you can go up. Yeah. The Dream Coil is still available for Bone 7. But it looks like Moon just wants to move up there so we can get just one Liquid Fire hit into the tower. The slow tick down effect. And here comes your Void.
So yeah, he picked up a Boots of Travel just for this. So they really want to take advantage of this opportunity, and looks like they're gonna get the advantage they're looking for.
Have to be quick. Shashlow's keeping the side lanes pushed out for the moment with the March of the Machines. The Beastmaster, while he throws everything he's got into that level 1 Necro book. Not really exactly what he wanted to be completing right now. Same with Fader. Didn't want just BKB and Aghanim Scepter with the Chrono being triggered.
Chrono.
Puck, he's in a lot of trouble. The Macropie is already going to go down. The Meg Charge, not enough to keep Fader alive. Owie, there's no Black Hole, just the Midnight Pulse, and the Song of the Siren will be used, and it's isolated Fader. He's BKB'd up for the moment. Now will wear off. But Tinker instantly into the Dagon, and with the laser follow-up, you'll ensure the kill. Now it looks like C9's having their back broken at the moment. They're going to lose Owie after he BKBs up. The Spectre coming back to the world of the living. He's looking for one here, and he'll actually get one. He'll actually pick up two right now. Mooney's away. Envy's trying to stick up with him. The movement speed, he's getting closer. Can't get the Radiance Burn off. The Shiva's Guard from Moon will even slow down Eternal Envy. He just needs some vision, and Bone 7 will help with the chase. But now in comes Shashlo. Rearms up very, very quickly. Links up towards the high ground, but Eternal Envy's managed to juke him out for the Fog of War. And remains the sole survivor for Cloud9. But they do hold their bottom racks. It cost them a buyback over on the Puck.
Top tower is
The Spectre buyback still on cooldown, and Razor's on cooldown from even earlier than that. So it's still a costly hold.
The unfortunate trade-off is that this Tinker is now officially 9k net worth of the next in line, who is actually his teammate on Jakiro, neck and neck with the Spectre. But following that is the Void. So out of the top 4, they've got 3 on the top net worth. And this Tinker, he's probably not going to go down to this either. So he's going to be getting away safely here. And I do want to mention that at the bottom lane, Bone 7 actually walked like only about 800 distance away and further away slowly as the Naga was TPing. It's probably because they were so intent and tunnel visioning on the Jakiro target. So it was unfortunate they missed the extra kill, but the Naga Siren lived to see another day there as well.
Well, because of that, C9 falling further and further behind, brought it up just before, but we're hitting about 9,000 experience going the way of Power Rangers, and they've just cracked about 16,000 net worth advantage over Cloud9 too. So Power Rangers are looking good to take themselves another victory here if possible. Of course, the series will be a draw if they do win this game, but that will lock them up at a 4-for-2 as their results for the moment, and that basically guarantees them a top 5 position. Which means either Alliance, Na'Vi, Team Empire, Team Reno, Tinkerino, Fnatic, virtus.pro, or Cloud9 will find themselves being eliminated. It's actually not a guaranteed with their results, because they've still got to play 7 series worth of Dota, and this is only their 3rd. So there's still a little bit longer to go. Now, looks like Cloud9 instantly slapping down Moon. He was Yule'd up and towards the air by himself, and then instantly brought back down again. He's trying to run himself away. Bone 7 has no Dream Call available anymore. Eternal Envy didn't want to commit anything else either. They just back up.
Bone actually, he got hit by the edge of that Ice Path there. It didn't look like the Ice Path would hit there, and he had Yule Scepter up, so they could have guaranteed that kill, so long as Bone was not stunned up, but he did get stunned up.
Well, for now, Shashlo, again, he's watching this top lane, and this is the reason why. 100 pounds straight away. Cheshire Cat got a lot of damage from that, but they're going to survive. The Roar will go over on the Tinker. They need this Tinker dead. At the same time, Bone 70 trying to man mode up against Cheshire Cat. Don't think that's really going to work for him, as they've just ended up losing. Well, they've actually lost more.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
The Tinker did go down. He actually committed suicide during all this one, but Bone 7, Moon, looking for the control. Owie 2000. He doesn't want a black hole into this one, but he might have if they want to get any kind of kill, but they hold on to it. Cheshire Cat still holding back for the moment. And now that We Just 6 arrived, concussive shot, they just forced off him up for now. Ensnare, and they're going to let the Mystic Flare go. The BKB from Fader will protect him. Now he jumps in. He's looking for the black hole, but he didn't have mana. He jumped in. He had a 3-level black hole right there, but he was short by 40 mana. And now they'll isolate both of them. Moon lines up the Ice Path. He's asked for the Song Siren to be turned off, and then he's going to try and dual branch into what is now a Yule'd up Razor. Moon might lose his life. 4-star up will actually save him, so the rest of Power Rangers compete into Cloud9. 5 heroes down, and Arax will finally be taken here by Power Rangers. The Enigma buys back into the game. He does still have his Blink to Black Hole, but without any kind of follow-up damage, it's merely a placeholder.
So, on a side note, I caught the tail end of that Tinker's death there, and I'm gonna go that thought he just burst down another one. But
and they got more.
Number 2.
Chrono's back off cooldown, and okay, that's over. That's GG. They've lost their big controllers. They've lost their black hole, and I don't see Power Rangers moving back out of the base. A Spectre, well, he's going to try and horn into this one, and Cheshire Cat's pretty low at the moment, but Envy's just a little bit too far away. The Ice Path kept him at bay, and because he managed to TP himself out, He'll heal up. Bone 7 jumps in. Whoa, that E-Blade Dagon combination. He'll be able to jump himself out to safety, but he went a long way west. You'll scepter up and towards the air, but the second he hits the ground, the Ice Path will catch him out. And now it is only Eternal Envy standing his ground inside the base.
Yeah. So just to go back on that engagement there. First of all, when the Void went in, he immediately took like 1,200 damage worth of life chunked away from him. And for a second, I thought there was like friendly fire enabled by the Tinker or something. I thought like he misclicked the Dagon on the Void and Mask of Madness kicked in. But what I realized was the dispersion from the Spectre actually did that much damage to the Mask of Madness because the Spectre got nuked up by the combo from Tinker, E-Blade plus Dagon. And I couldn't believe my eyes. But the second thing was I caught the tail end of the Tinker's death there as he was getting pursued out by the Enigma and the low-level Necrobooks. And
Void. He's in again. Goodbye, Fader. No ultimate though. There's actually no Mystic Flare available. We just think it's too low on mana. He bought a Mystic Staff, but for some reason it's over inside of his stash at the moment. Why the hell does a Jakiro have a heart?
Why not, Toby? Why not?
He's got so much strength. Aoi again, the BKB will trigger. Get a Malphison over on the Tinker. Just let it go this time, Aoi. You need to get yourself these kills. The Tinker will probably just, well, actually he can't buy back into the game. He's short by 1,000 gold. And really, Power Rangers, they didn't take the objective. They're trying to beat down the range Rex now with Moon on the front line. But C9, they've got Raw. Actually, still on cooldown for the moment. Envy's going to try and attack directly into Moon, which, as we're seeing, is rather ineffective. The Malphus stun, the Yule Scepter up into the air. Envy again, he's got this fresh Diffuser Blade up and running. But Bone 7, another Yule Scepter to try and save him. The Ice Path will connect Chrono. 4 seconds on cooldown, and Spectre haunts him. The Dream Call, nice stun by Bone 7, but they just break free of it. We just think we'll have to take the stun, however. While the Naga Siren is the focus of Eternal Envy, they're not letting this game go. But the Chrono from Cheshire Cat gets some kind of revenge over on the puck. But as 4 heroes down for 2 heroes, and the leap away and TP by Cheshire Cat, he's even TPing the bottom lane so he can keep the pressure on as opposed to just going straight back to base.
Yeah, that is so smart of him to have that awareness and just do that. That's definitely something that's built on experience, but I need to go back to it again. I think that Tinker actually killed himself with 1,600 life points at top earlier with the Bloodstone. Well, he just killed Spectre, so I guess that's that, but yeah.
The Spectre's meant to be on a tank.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like very tanky overall. Once again, I think the commitment with the Diffusal Blade is that if they get that item, they need to win the next fight so that he can have a progression after it. Otherwise, what happens is you're just sitting on this extra agility that doesn't really help you survive in these team fights and just makes you more susceptible to this burst kind of thing. With a Heart and a Manta, how you react to a Tinker gank is instead of looking to diffuse yourself from the E-Blade, you just click Manta and you have enough HP and you can actually right-click the Tinker. Well, I guess you can because he has E-Blade effect from the Ethereal Blade, but it's one method of survival. Unfortunately for the Diffusal Blade, you can't purge him and purge yourself at the same time, so it definitely has a limited function this game so long as the hunt gets shut down by the Naga State.
I try and remain positive because I've seen Spectre games come back from a very, very long deficit, and the fact there's no melee ranks going down just yet, there's also still a very big possibility the Cloud9 could crawl their way back in. Of course, they're only 28,000 net worth behind, and the experience was about 25k at one point, but a Spectre is powerful. He just needs life, the ability to tank, and not to have the controlling heroes being brought down like this. Raw, trying to buy some space for Aoi to maybe at least get the mech up, but the Mystic Flare's being dropped, and Shashlo comes in. Nukes down Bone 7, and Fader ensnared for the moment, and another jump in. Fader, he just one basic attack, he even need the Dagon just then. The buyback will come up, and he wants to fight Bone 7. Gets a 3-man Dream Call, but then sealed up. Envy buys back too. He's looking for some kind of opening, but the sleep, it was used perfectly. Just as you said, wait for the haunt to come. Control the heroes. The Ice Path means Envy cannot keep chasing on this. While Bone 7 right behind J4. They smoke up on top of the hill, not what they meant to do. But the run in, Envy, he'll manage to bring down J4, but he's still fighting with too many heroes against him and not enough of his own teammates. The Mystic Flare, the Yules have a little bit of mistiming, but it doesn't matter. We just think we'll take a double kill. And now I don't think there is a way they can come back. There's only the Beastmaster. The top ranks is properly gone. And in fact, Pylai die. Shashlo needs a little bit more mana, and there it is. The buyback, sorry, now comes from Envy. He didn't use that before. And, well, he'll have a crack at Moon, but this is it. This is over, man. They've lost everybody, and there's the smiley faces coming up. At least the boys can have some fun while they play. But the GG call comes out from Eternal Envy. Game was good, game was golden, but game is over.
He tried to TP to one of the buildings right next to him, and then after the TP channel for a second, he realized that, oh wait, I'm actually right there, and it's not going to help you get closer to this Tinker who just blinked away. So, unfortunately, they couldn't land a victory kill on the Tinker at the end. But it was a relatively close game for the most part, and Power Rangers, they earned that victory, man. I thought they were slowly losing their grip on the game from the Roche engagements and how they got wiped just before at the mid lane. But they came back pretty handsomely, and Cloud9, they just couldn't react to the different movements coming out of the Tinker and the Void. The solo pickoffs, they were heaping up to too much amount.
And it's been a rough night for Cloud9. They at least managed to drag themselves in a win. So, well, I say a draw, so 1 point for either side to keep Power Rangers sitting up there rather high up in the rankings. Of course, there's a lot more D2CL games to come up, and Power Rangers, they have themselves a double-header tonight, as they're now going to battle up against Team Empire, an opponent which is showing no mercy in this competition. They are 5-1 as far as their results are going at the moment, so it's not going to be an easy battle for them. The only team so far that took a game off Team Empire was actually the Alliance, a team which is 2-6 in this competition. So, let's see how we go with that next game. Anything could happen, so stay tuned for that one. Actually, before we wrap this up, I want to say, thanks to Clairvoyance for joining me. I know he's got to run himself away. Can only join for the Cloud9 game. But thank you very much for joining me, dude. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, look forward to more in the future. Near future, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, guys, stay tuned. We'll be back. We have our next game coming up. Should be now. We're actually 17 minutes late.